been revealed to also who have done extensive research identifying Babylon and the Whore of Babylon. So, you know, I recommend those books and that website. I would now like to I would also like to show you that it was prophesied in the Old Testament in the book of Daniel that when Nebuchadnezzar took Jerusalem, when he overrode Jerusalem and they went into Babylonian captivity in the Old Testament, the Jews, it says that he went into the temple and he took all the holy things of God in the temple, and it says he took them back to Babylon and he put them in his temple. Now, Nebuchadnezzar is a type of the beast. The whole book of Daniel is an end-time prophecy. If you read it and research it, that'll tell you that in Daniel chapter 12 it says, seal up the book till the time of the end. Many will travel to and fro. Knowledge shall be greatly increased. But the book would be sealed until the time of the end. So people wouldn't fully understand the prophecies of the book of Daniel until we got right at the end of time, and then it would be unveiled, it would be revealed. The seals would be broken, which I believe that's where we're at right now, and this understanding is coming forth. My point is Nebuchadnezzar was smart. He knew that the Jewish people and the people of Jerusalem, that their power, their true power historically resided with their God and what they believed. That he knew about Egypt. He knew the historical stories about Assyria and Egypt and how God manifested supernatural signs and wonders and gave the Israelites victories against these mighty empires. And, you know, deep down in his heart, he probably had a little bit of a fear that, well, when's he going to turn on? When's God going to help them? And they're going to turn on us. They were in Egyptian bondage for 400 years before Yahweh moved and delivered them by the hand of Moses. So, you know, he had concerns from the historical references that he had about these people and about their God. So what he did is he took all their holy things and put them in his temple with all his religious holy things. Now that is a prophecy, and this, you know, I'll make statements when I reference other people and that this has been known. It's been known for a long time that, you know, Mystery Babylon, the Whore of Babylon, is the Roman Catholic Church. That's been spoken by many preachers over time. That's nothing new that I'm bringing forth right there. Great preachers throughout history, all the way back in the Reformation, were making that identification. Now, as far as this identification, I'm the only one that I've known of that has identified this as a prophecy of Nebuchadnezzar, taking all the holy things out of the temple, putting them in his temple, mixing them with the paganism and the Babylonian religious system that he already had. Well, that was a prophecy that took place in 320, between 320 and 350 AD, when the Emperor Constantine, under the Roman Empire, notice I said the Roman Empire with the Caesars and their pantheon of pagan religion, they tried to kill Christianity for 300 years. They could not do it. So when they could not kill the Christianity, through burning them at the stake, through feeding them to the lions, through so many different ways to destroy this religious system that was coming forth from God in the world, they made a decision in 320 AD, a corporate executive decision by the Roman Emperor Constantine. The old, if you can't beat them, join them, it's spreading like wildfire, we can't stop it. He took his pantheon of pagan religion and he made Rome a Christian empire. That was the beginning of corporate Christianity. It was the beginning of government-sanctioned Christianity. And what they did is and this is all historically documented, you can look it up in encyclopedias and history books, he took all his pagan priests and he Christianized them. And they took all their paganism and they mixed it with Christianity, and that was where the Roman Catholic Church began, or what we call the Mystery Whore of Babylon began between 320 and 350 AD under the Emperor Constantine. Identifying marks. Well, under the Roman Empire, they were pagan. They had a god for everything. They had a god for the sun. They had a god for water. They had a god for love. They had a god for everything. You would go pray to that specific god for that certain thing that you wanted. If you wanted rain, you prayed to the rain god. Well, what they did, they had all these gods, so what they did is they made all the saints gods. So now they go and pray to the saints, where they used to go to pray to the gods. Well, they had Nimrod being the head god, the sun god. They had Semiramis, his wife, and then they had Tammuz, his son. This started all the way back in the beginning of Babylon. You can reference that in, I believe it's Genesis chapter 10. This was the beginning of Babel. Nimrod built it. This religious system was created, and it's been with us ever since. So what they did is they made Nimrod the god, they made Semiramis Mary, and they made Tammuz Yahshua. Because it kind of fit, which Satan knew, because he's got intelligence too, and he knows the Bible too. So he already had a false religious system set up to fall in place with God's truth to make a counterfeit religion. And that's what he did. I hope you understand this. I know it's confusing, and I encourage you to research this to find it out, because it is the truth. So just as Nebuchadnezzar did, the Romans did the same thing. They knew there was power in Christianity. They had witnessed it. People were willing to burn at the stake and be fed to the lions rather than refuse Christ. So they knew there was power in it, so they had to mix it with their religious system. They couldn't kill it, so they had to create a new system, which is Mystery Babylon, the Roman Catholic whore, or the Roman Church, is what we got from that. I find that amazing. You know, that prophecy was written all the way back then. And now it's happened. We're in the midst of it right now. Let me just give a brief summary of what I just said. The Romans took Christianity, took it and put it in their temple of pagan religion and mixed it in with it. It was just another god, another religion in with their old religious system, which had been passed down to them from Babylon. It was also in Egypt. It's the same Babylonian system from the beginning. It has changed the names and changed certain things, but it's the same foundational system. That's why they call it religious Babylon. Alright, I would now like to turn to Revelation chapter 17 for the identification of the whore. I believe that this chapter of Revelation, without question, identifies who the whore of Babylon is, what Mystery Babylon is, and what it stands for, what's going to happen. We're going to start in verse 1 of chapter 17. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Now, let me explain something to you. The book of Revelation is very symbolic. And it's like the parables that Yahshua gave. You have to be able to find out, well, who does this whore represent? What do the waters represent? And what is this fornication? This isn't physical fornication. This isn't physical acts of sexual debauchery. This is spiritual fornication. See, this whore causes the people of the earth to commit spiritual fornication against God. Well, you say, well, how's that happen? I can tell you. By praying to Mary, by praying to the saints, by bowing down before the Pope and calling him the Holy Father. When Yahshua said, call no man Father on this earth, you have one Father which is in heaven. The Holy Father's in heaven. He's not on this earth. He's not on this earth. When you bow down to a man and kiss his feet and call him the Holy Father, and you bow down to graven images, which is a violation of the second commandment, you are in violation against God. You're not worshiping God. You're worshiping things that men created, is what you're worshiping. You're in a false religious system. That's how you commit fornication against God. It's like physical but spiritual. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. This beast represents the governmental system. It also represents a man here at the end of time who will be the head of that governmental system, political. See, there's a political Babylon and there's a religious Babylon. I'm not getting into